Okay, so what are the meaningful things that you never give up?
So it's an interesting question of when do you give up, right? I mean, sometimes it's important to stop hitting your head against a brick wall and to start doing something different. And so it's a really important question for any young person who's looking to build a business or change the world to understand. And I think for me, my lessons have been when I've done something just to make money, it's an empty promise. If I'm not driven by what I'm doing, if it's what we call at Singularity University, your massively transformative purpose, your MTP, and you love what you're doing, even if you're not succeeding, you keep going because you're learning, you're focusing on the world you want to do, and a lot of times you fail by giving up. Like for me, with the original X Prize, it took me 10 years to ultimately raise the $10 million and to launch the competition and have it won. And so many people along the way told me, give up, this is never going to work, this is crazy. But it was my highest calling, my purpose in life, and I refused to give up. And that not giving up drove me to be able to succeed. So when I've worked on things that were not my highest calling, if I was trying something as an experiment, I'll give up on that. I will iterate and I'll try something different.
Awesome. Thanks for that inspirational words. What are the things that makes you mad?
Yeah. What makes me mad is human stupidity. What makes me mad is people who refuse to look at the data, refuse to look at the information, who are stuck in old ways of thinking and are not willing to look at how the world is changing. People who are consumed by negative news and let that shape their minds instead of really look at the incredible world that we live in. What makes me mad is people who create a huge amount of wealth and then never use it to do anything significant with it, right? We're living in a world where people become billionaires and create tens of billions of dollars of value, and I think that there is a moral obligation for them to use that wealth to go and fix the world's problems, to say this is a challenge I'm going to solve, and then to use their wealth and their relationships and their intelligence to go and solve those problems.
Awesome. What was your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Wow. So I've started 19 companies over the years. I would say a third have been successes I've been very happy with. A third we'll see where they go, and a third were failures. So I think one of my failures, I started a launch company many years back. I had started the International Space University, and that's been an amazing success. And then I started a company that I was CEO of that was in the launch business. And we had a very powerful vision of what we wanted to do. It was early, but along the way, we started changing the vision. We were chasing the marketplace. Instead of doing what we wanted to do, we were pursuing a different government marketplace, and we started chasing the market instead of doing what we originally envisioned, and we failed. And I learned the lesson of to stick with your MTP, your massively transformative purpose, and not chase a marketplace. Rather, we could have failed chasing the market, and we could have failed going with our original MTP, but the fact that we failed chasing what was back then the defense launch marketplace, I just felt was an awful way for us to fail.
So focus into your purpose.
Focus into your purpose and remain true to your mission.
Mm-hmm. If you have the power to redesign our world, how this would look like?
Oh goodness. So listen, a lot of our world is amazing, and we forget how amazing it is. I think I would focus on, and we're going to do this now, we're going to focus on redesigning the educational system. We're going to focus on redesigning the healthcare system. We're going to focus on improving every aspect of our lives, but it happens as a natural process of entrepreneurs and markets and capitalism, where where young, talented individuals see problems, and an entrepreneur is someone, when they see a problem, they see an opportunity. They are looking for great problems, and then they say, I'm going to build a business to fix that problem. And so I think that number of people finding and fixing problems is increasing rapidly. And I think that makes the world a better place. I would also add to it, I would probably want to reinvent the political systems too.
That's an awesome idea. What is your definition of happiness?
So that's an interesting question. I think happiness is ultimately the freedom and the ability to pursue your dreams. It's not always succeeding. So it's interesting. There was a TV show in the United States called The Twilight Zone. And there was this episode in which this guy dies, and he doesn't know if he's a bad person throughout life, and he goes he doesn't know if it's heaven or hell, but when he's in this place, everything he does succeeds. He goes to the casino and he wins every single time. He goes and he has no challenges in life. And he ends up just going crazy because life has gotten so boring, because everything he does, he wins, everything he wants, he gets. And he goes, I hate being in heaven. This is terrible. And they say, what makes you think you're in heaven? So we as humans love challenges. We like having challenges and then overcoming them. So I think happiness for me is being able to have a great problem and then being able to attack that problem and sometimes hopefully be able to solve it. So some of my happiest times were in founding my companies. And I like to joke, some of them were overnight successes after 10 years of hard work. And so that gives me fulfillment.
Great. I think you are one of the most persistent person I have ever met in my life. When I was younger and I was looking at the stars, I always thought, and I wanted to touch the stars and become like traveling around the stars. So how long it will take to become multiplanetary species?
So this concept of taking all of the eggs out of the basket, right? Everything we've ever created as humans, all of our cultures, all of our languages, every piece of artwork is on this small planet. And we're learning that our planet and our solar system is one of 100 billion solar systems in our galaxy. Our galaxy is one of 2 trillion galaxies in our universe. And maybe there's an infinite number of universes. It's huge out there. And we are, as someone I've had the pleasure to get to know, Professor Stephen Hawking says, it's important for us to become a multiplanetary species because there are things that could happen. We could be hit by an asteroid and it can wipe out the human race. I hope I have a chance to mine the asteroids before they hit us. So there are people like Elon Musk, like Jeff Bezos, like myself and my teams working on becoming a multiplanetary species. And the thing that's incredible is that you've got these multi-billionaires in the form of Elon Musk, who's committed his life to making us a multiplanetary species. His mission is to do a private mission to Mars by 2024.
Are you part of that mission?
I'm not yet, but you've got Richard Branson with Virgin Galactic taking people to space. I do have a ticket to go on a Virgin Galactic flight. And then Jeff Bezos, who's the wealthiest human on the planet now, surpassed Bill Gates, and is committed with his company Blue Origin to take millions of people into space. So I think that's happening right now during our lifetime, and that's an amazing time to be alive.
Great. My very last question is, why is so important for you asteroid mining, and how do you envision this new industry?
Yeah, so we're here in Chile, which is one of the mining capitals of the world. And one of the realizations is that the earth is a crumb in a supermarket filled with resources. And we talk about mining here, that's amazing, but we're about to move off planet. And everything we've ever held of value, metals, minerals, energy, real estate, are in near infinite quantities in space. And so I think about going out to mine these asteroids. We've discovered in the last 15 years, we've discovered thousands of asteroids that we never knew about before that come close to the Earth and that are very rich in fuel, in liquid oxygen and hydrogen, in construction metals like nickel, iron, and cobalt, and then third, platinum group metals. And so most of this we'll use in space to build our space economy. But I'm excited about that for the notion of amazing wealth creation, but also to make humanity a multiplanetary species. So my offer to the government of Chile and to the Chilean mining companies is join us. We are out there. Our largest investor and partner right now is actually the country of Luxembourg, the government and banks of Luxembourg. Chile should be leading that as well.
We will push to make it happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Peter.